I'm sure you probably get asked this a lot while you guys are touring and all that, but would love to hear what would you suggest for a young person that's wanting to be a worship leader? Like what does that look like? What should they start doing to prepare for that?
Well, number one, serving. Serving is the best thing you can do, because really that's what it's all about. It's all about serving the house of God. It's not about trying to elevate yourself to a certain position or anything like that. And I look over, my journey, and that's how it started. It all started with serving. I never aspired to be the person in front of the mic worship leading, as you heard before. I just did it because I had to. But I did have a love for the house of God, and I was willing to do whatever I could. Before I was involved with Planetshakers, there was a guy called Henry, and I took it upon myself just to serve him the best I could. Would always pack up his gear for him, load it into his car without fail every week, because I wanted to serve the position that I felt like God was calling me to. And so I would say serve, even if it's a small church, and you know who that worship leader is, serve them, ask them if they need anything, give them a bottle of water, all that kind of stuff. And then, practicing, obviously, singing. To be a worship leader, you want to be able to sing. Developing a gift is, of course, an important thing. But then the biggest thing that makes a good worship leader, in my opinion, is having spiritual authority. Because a worship leader is not just a song leader. A worship leader is an atmosphere changer. Isn't it amazing how one person can change the atmosphere in a room, like depending on what they carry? And so I want to encourage you, if you're a budding worship or inspiring to be a worship leader, find your authority in God and spend time in his presence, understanding the authority that he's given you to change an atmosphere, to speak into situations, and really develop that boldness and confidence. Because people will follow that. In a worship setting, if you're confident going somewhere, they'll follow you. If you're inconfident and don't know what's happening, then things can get a bit lost. But that's probably some good advice.
Yeah. What would you say about the patient side of that? Like, okay, serve, but somebody's like, yeah, but how did you know? I guess in your aspect, is it just as doors open, you just walked in those doors? Like, how did it feel? Did it happen when you expected it to happen? Was it sooner? Was it later? Talk about that process a little bit.
I mean, for me, I felt like it was a natural progression, but I do acknowledge there would be some people out there who feel like it's taking a long time for them. And so what I would speak into that would be, you just got to trust God that he is the promoter. Man is not the promoter. God is the promoter. And if you keep trusting in God and having a good attitude, good heart, he will promote you at the right time. And if you don't get promoted, then it's not meant to be. And so you just got to trust God. That there's different remedies that we can say and encourage people with, but honestly, the best thing you can do is just trust God. Because if you have that 100% trust in him, whatever happens is okay. It's like, and you just trust God's timeline. That's the best advice I could give.